to this very important program. This program is Good Governance Ministry coming your way live on Agenda 99.1 FM across this lovely Monday morning. Today is the 16th day in the month of November in the year 2020, and especially each time this program comes away every Monday. Good Governance Ministry is all about good governance in different ways, in different forms, in different dimensions. What we usually x-ray ways to make the country better, to make the people to be well informed, and also see how possible they're going to hold government accountable in some of the things they do. And that's what the program is all about. Let's quickly introduce the panelists for today's program. We have in the studio Chinedu Peters. Also, it's my pleasure to welcome you this very morning.
Thank you, and to our listeners, thank you for tuning in.
We also have in the studio, we have in the BC Anenubu. It's my pleasure to welcome you in the BC Anenubu.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, my people, everywhere.
All right, remember, just like we told you earlier on last week, we're actually looking at the power of protest and then possibly how protest can change around or change a whole lot in the system. About this week, we're going to just continue with where we stopped last week, but this week we're going to
be talking about the politics of ideology and the politics of personal interest. That's politics of ideology versus the politics of personal interest.
In politics, we know there are two things that usually come out each time people talk about politics. You have interest, you have either the interest is for the people or individual interest, and then you have ideology. And when you have this ideology is well spelled out, well carved out, and these are the reasons political parties are being formed. But let's look at politics of ideology and politics of interest, because one would also tell you, when you talk about interest, you also have personal interest, you have group interest, you have a general interest, you have a national interest, but then that is politics of interest. And then you also have politics of ideology. And then let's look at these things broadly before we narrow it down.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. In politics or in governance, what is key is public interest. But the situation we have here, maybe in Nigeria or down here in Alive, is people play politics of personal interest instead of public interest. And that is the situation we have. That is the problem. Then if you talk about the personal interest, that is why politicians tend to start campaigning towards electoral period. Like right now, you will not see any politician campaigning, or perhaps last year, you will not see them talking or trying to educate the people. What I'm saying is that Obona Azosi Ochichi, Bana Ochichi, political parties should have it upon themselves to assemble people and educate the people on what they should demand from the government, or they should tell them what the government is doing. This is interactive section, and this should be ongoing. But right here, like Anambra here, Unuma, and when we about say PDP pocket people, say na Anna and we town hall meeting to ask the people what they want, or Abga, 8 more people, say for Biano, Kaipa, Alo. You know, people are not given opportunity to discuss about public interest. Remember, the two things are public interest and private interest and communication. You have to communicate. You have to zero the two, bring them together for objective. The key objective of government is to maximize social welfare, to achieve social welfare. You know, each time people are happy or excited, like people listening right now in various communities, when people are happy, more their governor Biana ABS name, hi, Obiana at water. You may take OBS in out of water. As this is my governor. Even then, when a governor is in our group, Obona, next 20 years. It goes on next 40 years. Because Okwa for now, what in our woman. Government inspires the people. That is the interest, public interest. But when people are in government, you know, up on our point in good, yeah, girlfriends, yeah, boyfriends, yeah, all point those people like in the keke, in the land keke. Ọ bụrụ ị na-anya onye na-achị ọchịchị ọ na-alụ White House ọ na-alụ n'elu but before ọ baa dị a o nwere anything ọ nọrụ n'ọchịchị ọ na-ego moto and ogo moto like this ọ police na-eme escort but before ọ baa n'ọchịchị o nwere police escort, you know, and people are watching, people are listening. So that is why this discussion is very, very important for us to differentiate between public interest and the what? Private interest. That is personal. I be here because of public interest. I'm an officer of PRM, People Restoration Mission. Oka in the politics. Oka in Kechuku. You know, after God, church, the destiny is politics. That is why Chigedu and other people have decided to set up Church of Politics so that every Saturday we will gather people together and dedicate them somewhere. Every Monday we'll say come here. We are not doing it because of your money. We are not doing it because I want to be governor next year or because I want to contest anything. I am not contesting anything. But I am doing it, my people, my dear people in the bank. If I am able because of what? Public interest. Makai choka dimma. Obon odroma here. And and all na for dalon.
All right, thank you so much. Let me come to you straight away. Chinedu Peters,
Okay, just like my brother just said right now, NBC said right now, we are here. This is good governance ministry. We deliver the people from gullibility and fear. We want to deliver the people from the mindset, from the syndrome that government is doing them a favor, when actually they are supposed to be rendering service to the people. Now, we're talking about politics of ideology and the politics of personal interest. You see, every political party, I am not mincing word here, and I'm not going to be politically correct, that almost all the political parties that have held highly positioned political offices in Nigeria today, all those political parties, none of them are driving or are being driven by ideology. Every politician that we have seen so far is being driven by personal interest. Most of them, I mean, let me be fair to them, 95% of them are driven by personal interest. And that is why you see them jumping from one political party to the other, pursuing their personal interest. Politics is supposed to be based on ideology. Before you join politics, it is based on what you aspire for, what you dream or what you believe in. And you join the politics or you form a political party based on the people that share the same aspiration as you do. For instance, if we're looking at some of the developed worlds, we see Democrats, we see Republicans. They will tell you their history, what they believe in. Once these people take over offices, this is what is expected. We see socialism, we see capitalism. So these are the things that you see when you have a politics that is driven by ideology. Then it will reflect the aspiration of the people, essentially. Now let me say this. In Nigeria today, what is driving politicians into politics? Somebody said that it is an economic interest, their personal economic interest. That is what they are pursuing. They are going there to amass wealth. That's their primary objective. Then secondly, for societal status. That's why you see that once they go into office, they surround themselves with motorcades that they don't need. That is societal status. You know that it is the governor that is passing. You know that it is the senator that is passing. Even a common local government chairman will not allow us to hear word in our vicinity. Open doors now guide up and down. Yet there is no impact that he's making to the lives of ordinary people that are supposed to be his followers. Now, what will happen when we now bring in politics of ideology? The politics of ideology, what do you want? The people, what do you want? We want our people to have access to good and basic education. We want our people to be able to go to farm and being able to harvest their crop without being mowed down by those who carry livestock in the name of grazing. Our people want good healthcare service delivery. I've met with, the other day I was in the field playing football and I saw an old man of over 75 years carrying wheelbarrow and trying to, he's working on a concrete stuff. He's doing excavation at his age. Who is taking care of this man? No, it's no social security taking care of them. And I approached the old man. Perhaps his children, many of them are still struggling to get employment. Many of them who may not even have access to education, so they don't have job, and they're not skilled. That is why at that age, the old man is still working. This is the thing that is supposed to be taken care of by the political system. J. Lawrence of Ghana that died recently of blessed memory, that man is an icon that has inspired me so much. He said something, that we will build a system, a society, where even if the devil comes here, he will not be able to get his way. It is the will of the people that he must. He doesn't have any option. This is what we are here to do. We are here to build a system that even if the devil comes to take over or to govern our states, he will not have any chance or any loophole to exercise his devilish agenda. And that is what the people have to do. And that is why PRM is here to organize the people. Because God is not going to come down from heaven to do that for us. We have to do it. And if we believe that this is what we want, if we want to experience, if we want to enjoy good governance, then this is time for you to assemble together under People's Restoration Mission, Good Governance Ministry, as we are bringing the people together so that we start getting and identifying good leaders from among us that will go in and make the change.
All right, thank you so much. And then I would want to narrow this discussion in a broader perspective because I would want people to understand the message very clearly. Remember, if you're joining us at this very point, this is October 99.1 FM upon the program you're listening to is Good Governance Ministry. I have NWBC, and then we also have Chinedu Peter Asoso, who are here, and we're looking at the politics of ideology against politics of interest. And we say has helped us to define interest in a way that he categorize interest as private and also public. And then we have Chinedu who has gone as much as possible to let us know why people join politics in Nigeria. So he is using Nigeria as a case study. Now, moving forward now, we have seen politicians in Nigeria saying that political parties are vehicles to achieve things that the community need. They don't believe the issue of political parties being rooted in ideology. To them, it is a political vehicle to get to a political destination.
Exactly.
And many of them, today they are in this party, tomorrow they are in that party. Anyone that is convenient for them to get to the destination, they would. Such thoughts, such narration. And they have been very, very bold enough to tell people that is their own understanding about political party. Is that understanding the right understanding or wrong understanding?
That is totally an abnormality. In fact, that is a report card on any one of them that thinks so. And the people, you are now listening and getting this understanding. This is a free education we are giving to the people. This is political education we are giving to the people. You see, the reason why we see politicians jump from one political party or the other is because they see political parties as, just like you mentioned, as a vehicle to carry them to their political office, their destination, where they want to. They want to be a senator. They have contested their primaries and they failed. They jump to the next party. Before you know, they jump to another. Some of them will join like 4 parties before the election proper, pursuing tickets. That is why they can go out of their way to do anything. Now, these political parties, the ideology driving the system of political party is now like a cabal business. If you're able to set up your own political party, some of them will even operate it as their private political party. Some of them will do it as a political parties of gangsters. They call them godfathers. They will be there to appoint and disappoint anyone they will at any time. Yes. Only those that represent their own interests will go into, will give tickets. And that is why you see them jumping from one place or even an angel. If you go to any of these parties, these people inside the party system will frustrate you because you do not represent. You should be doing better at look tomorrow. No matter the well thought out plans you have, hey, go and contest. You go to those parties, they will rubbish you. You will not even smell one ticket because the party system have been designed in such a way to bring the worst of us to govern us. They gave us all options from all the political parties that we've seen. They give us worst options to choose from. So you choose the best, worst option you have. So the time has come for us to change all that. And what do? We are not going to dwell so much on so many of these problems because we know they are here. What we are here to is to provide the solution.
Yes.
Because there is no time to waste time.
No time.
So what we need to do is to organize ourselves. And that is what PRM is here to do. And we are here to educate you because information is power. So you realize the power you have. One of the things when I was driving down here, something popped into my head. I said, these people that will always call and say, hey, if you go there, you will be the same. If you go there, what will be the difference? You know, they have believed that everybody is corrupt. Then that person has a problem. You have a problem yourself. What we are saying is that none of these political parties will call you together. Come, let us, even when God created this earth, he said, come, let us make man in our own image. Come. Now, we are saying, come, let us make ourselves a political platform that will change our lives for good and retire all these never do wells in politics once and for all. That is the only solution to our problem. There is no two ways about this. No matter how you try to twist it, no matter how you try to tell us that your vote doesn't count. By the way, if your vote doesn't count, they will not buy it. They will not be looking for money to buy your vote. They will not be stealing public wealth, storing it somewhere in order to bring it out to share you and buy your vote. So nobody should give an excuse for not joining this one lifetime of opportunity to change our life. We have to hijack that political office. There is no two ways about it. The people's driven political party based on ideology of freedom, political freedom, economic freedom, social freedom, and even spiritual freedom. It is very difficult. The Bible said that the rich man, it will be difficult for him to pass to go to heaven. They will to pass through the eye of the needle. It will be difficult for an average Nigerian to make heaven. Though. That is what I'm saying. With the level of the system will encourage you one way or the other. So if we have to go to heaven, we have to start fixing our.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, and then we are looking at the political ideologies and then the politics of interest and then politics of ideology. Remember, if you define political party, it will be well defined. In fact, it's more like generally accepted definition of a political party is an organized group of people who have the same political ideology. Possibly those who have the same political positions and who feel candidates for elections in an attempt to get elected and thereby implement their agenda. And political parties are more like embedded and then conscripted with certain ideologies. So these are the ideologies they try to project by the time they get power. And we have all these political parties in Nigeria, either the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom or the Democratic Party in the United States of America. Both of them have come from time to time as the oldest political party in the world. But if you look at these two parties, one thing you know about these two political parties, they have a well carved out political ideology. But then in Nigeria, yeah, just as the panelists have said, they have deposited that such thoughts, such narrations, such idea that political parties are mere vehicles. That any politician who comes out to tell us that political parties are mere vehicles, you're going to tell us what we're going to do to that politician. But that's one. And secondly, would you say in Nigeria we have any political party that has the well carved out ideology? These are two questions. I don't know if you're going to take the first one. Any politician who comes to tell the people that party is just a vehicle to get to a destination. It's just like if it's in Chisco or whatever. If you're going to Lagos, you don't look at the name of the company or the vehicle. All you're interested is to get to the destination. That's what I've come to tell us most times. anyone who makes such statement, what do you think will be the reaction of the people?
The question is whether there is party in Nigeria that has ideology. Is that the question? Now, to me, no. You know why I said no? An ideology, any party that has an ideology must represent the interests of the people. And having said that, if a political party is funded based on ideology, it is expected that those who fund the party should take their time to be selling that ideology non-stop. How we see it did not sell the ideology from January to December, just like we are doing. We are not yet political party. So such political party has to contribute money from their people and they fund people-oriented projects. And among them is public sensitization. Because you have to tell people why the party is there. You have to tell people what you want to do for them. You have to tell people what the party in government is not doing. You have to puncture their weakness and promote your strength. That is where you have strength. And by so doing, you will connect. There should be a connectivity between you and the people. And because I have not seen a single party in Nigeria that has consistently, I mean, off-peak. Off-peak means Oburombe and to vote. When by a secretary of the election for the 6 months, you see all types of parties, 6 parties. You call Bona, Monday night rice, Monday night aqua, Monday night this one. No. What is expected is 3 years as a election. The political party with ideology will start selling themselves. Now in Nigeria, unless if you see one, but in Anambra State, here where we live, I have not seen one. After the last election, 2017, I have not seen the political parties coming up to Anambra people to tell them, this is what I will do for you, this is what the party in government is not doing. I have not seen them sponsoring a program. Tony, you know how much we pay to be here for 1 hour. We pay a lot to be here. And we would have spent that money on ourselves. We would have used the money to Chinedu car is bad, to buy another car for him. But we consider this thing first. And that is ideology, selling the ideology. Because you must have that communication with the people. Now, having said that, I also want to say this is very important. Most times in the buying, I don't believe it's in the way the possible. And I say, this boy, I'm on head. So many people will call me by the side, say, who is sponsoring you? What are you targeting to get? They will not just believe that you can do something for the future. You can do something for posterity. They will not just believe that today is public holidays in Anambra State. Why? The Zik of Africa, far back 1945, 1942, they started fighting the white people. And how did he fight? It's not with a gun. He's not insulting people. He started educating people. He printed dailies like this and start sharing it. He start public lecture. Whenever there is an occasion, you go there and address them and tell them what governance is all about. Because he has traveled overseas. He went there to read history. He has been in an economy where things are working. He has been in an economy where human life should be respected, where human dignity is quite restored. And being back to Nigeria, he said, no, my people, this is the colonial masters, though they are not wicked, but we get to have our own country. They started by talking to people. Zik is an orator. And today, Anambra State declared public holidays and asking the whole Nigeria to declare the same thing to honor that man. In present generation, who would want tomorrow declare holidays for. So that is why, if you ask me whether there is a political party that has ideology, we have to ask ourselves question. Now that we have young men who are making sacrifice, na-achụ aja. Ọ bụrụ na ha na-achụ aja maka na ha ga-enweta something now, na ha ga-enweta anything, but they are doing it for the interest of our generation unborn. Our people will always ask questions. Say, "Nna enwebe ihe na-enweta na this thing." Gwa m eziokwu. And the people will pocket out the phone. I say, "Idu show kita na send there na iye emenwu something." Chinedu has been in this radio for 5 months now. He has been talking, protest, do this, do. So there's 1 million mark. But over time like this, people are too scared. And we notice it's not the solution. The solution is to get the right people in government. If you get the right people in government, they will create enabling environment. They will even advise you, if there's anything I'm not doing well, please protest. When I was in the bank, as head of operation, I used to ask my people, my staffers, during meeting, I'll ask them, please, I'm the leader here in the bank. I want you to criticize me. I'm your Oga. Don't fear. Just call me ND. Don't call me Oga. I don't want anybody to. I don't want to be addressed with Sir. This. Sir is eye service. I want you to call me ND. Now tell me, is there anything you want me to do that I'm not doing? I'll give them that opportunity. So I'm telling you, if somebody like me is the governor tomorrow, if you call me excellency, I will shut you down. Say, what's the meaning of excellency? If you call me honorable, I say, no, call me Ndubisi. My people, I know some of the people who might know me, where I work, they will testify. This is how a leader starts to change the society. Today I have answered their question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Remember, we are still really moving forward. The program is Good Governance Ministry, and then we have our panelists. They are here in the studio. We are looking at politics of ideology against politics of interest. And remember, we know that ideology, for some of you who may not know the meaning of ideology, ideology is a set of ideas or ideals, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy that also project political and economic development. For those of you who may be thinking, I've heard about this ideology many times, what are you people really talking about when you mention the word ideology? A set of ideas or ideals geared towards political or economic development of a country. It could be anything. When you say that, let's focus on education, let's focus on education. A party could also be known for education or educational reformation, certain standard, believing that human capitals can really change the country. These are some of the things they can really emphasize so much. Now, Chinedu, I want to ask you, Ndubisi has said, as it stands today, he wouldn't say there's any political party with a carved-out ideology in Nigeria. And then you have said that people should go for political parties with carved-out ideology where there is none. What do you think people will do?
Together, that is what we're doing here. Ndị Igbo si n'ọta ugbo na mgbe onye jitete bụ ụtụtụ ya ahụ. Ndị be anyị ụtụtụ elugo, this is time for us to do the needful because we've been in this for a very long time, for God knows how long. And from one political dispensation to the next, the situation gets worse. That is the truth. If you take from the time, even before some of us were born, many of the people, even those who are in government today, attended public schools. They attended public hospitals when they are sick. They get job even while as a student. Some of them immediately after their service, their job is there for them. But today, check it. It gets worse every day. People no longer talk about private schools anymore. Everybody goes to private schools. Then Nigerian politicians have taken it to the next level. None of them takes their children to public schools in Nigeria. They take them to private schools abroad. Okay? So where the bourgeois, where the elites of the Western world take their own children, that is where they take their children to. Not even to public school abroad. Private schools abroad. Very expensive school abroad. Good. Now, if you say that there is none, that you should now take the option of what we have. No. We have to wake up. That's what we're doing.
If
here.
we wake up, what next? You're gonna
Next
form a
is
political
we are
party.
already doing so, but we're not just BRM is a political movement.
From political movement, you get to political association.
Our target is quite clear. Our target is to hijack power through political process. Let the people hijack power. The people driven by the ideology to liberate their people from economic stagnation, backwardness.
Okay.
And when we talk about our educational system, for instance, if you have this kind of people like PRM, we already have an ideology. We want our school system to start working, public school system to start working. And what do we do if we are already contesting an election? For instance, if I am contesting for your governors, the political party will now have this ideology that when we go into power, we make laws that beginning from the governor to the least politically appointed person or occupying any position politically, we have to school their children, for instance, here in Anambra State, in public school. It will become a law. That is the ideology. That it is now, and what will happen? The education commissioner, we know that if they make budget and she corner the money, that means she is cooking the soup where her own child go also test the bad education. The same is applicable to health. The same is applicable to infrastructure. Because these people, you see them, you hardly see them on the streets. And when they drive with SUVs, large ones, that even if they jump into, what do you call it, not even pothole this time, because what we have here is, sometimes we see erosions and gullies on our roads. They jump into it and jump out. They will not even feel it. They will feel like they are enjoying their cruise. But we, where they use Legady's Benz, we where they use Keke Napep, and those of us that have rickety cars that we normally push, so what we need is a people organized to make this change, and we are identifying people who have and share the same aspiration. Okay. What we need the people to do now is the power lies on the people. We now want the people to come together and vest this power on themselves, the people that emanate from them, because democracy is the government of the people, by the people, then for the people.
Okay, I got that, and then I will come back to you. Let's hear from what you want to say.
Now, what I want to say to support him is that we are here not to segregate, among political parties. But what we are saying is that what we have existing is not good.
Not good at all.
But then, because some of our callers now will start calling from different political parties, are you saying that our party is not good? No. That's not what we are saying. The platform we have is not a political party. Now, we want to use it to organize the people. If the people are quite organized, do you know that they can enter ABGA and change it?
Of course.
If people are organized, do you know they can enter PDP and change it? Do you know that people that PDM was not a political party, Article, a Yaradua party, then they came together with the G34, and then from G34 they now join hands to form PDP. So PRM, what we are saying is that any political party we can work with that as time goes on. We can have our own party, we can hijack existing one, but what is key is this ideology, idea. Idea is about the welfare of the people. Welfare of the people, to take care of the people, so that people will stop dying, so that our people will live 90 years, 100 years like our forefathers. Ndị Igbo, na mego na coronavirus, o gosiri na Chukwu ka eji ndị Igbo ka o sie ike. Ihe people na-anwụ 55 years, 45 years, ịnọgide efu dị mkpa ọ dapụ nwa.
When you use the word hijack, because Chinedu used it here, and then the BC also used it here. And the BC said, hijack, or possibly hijack existing political parties.
They are now hiding.
And then you also say that people will hijack power through electoral process. That's what you say. And when you use the word hijack, it means forceful takeover or forceful taking control, or possibly stop and seize control of some mechanism or anything that is already in existence. Don't you think that Even the word hijack is not even democratic.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me put it this way. The situation we find ourselves, we're in a journey, and the people have hijacked forcefully our vehicle, taking us to our destiny, and diverted it totally to where they want to take us to. That is not our destination. It requires a counter hijack by the same people to channel the vehicle back to their destination. What we have today is that people who are in government have hijacked our destiny and channeled it to their pockets. That is why at the end of the year, you have nothing to show for it. At the end of the year, your children will, after school, will not have job. For us to change it, don't expect these people to just give it to you. Hey, because you have shouted so much, because you have spoken big grammar, sounding we want to give it to you. No. Now, what is the process? Political process is not an easy process. It's something that you have to, even the Bible says, the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and only the violent take it by force. But what are we talking about in this context? We want the people to come out, beginning with INEC. What is INEC doing for a whole 4 years? After election, they will go. And believe you me, they provide money, fund for these INEC officials on monthly basis through the budget. And at the end of the day, you see them come back after 4 years to start issuing, they call it voters card. What stops INEC? Let's start with INEC. From issuing voters card on daily, even on the spot. Like ATM card. If you go to the banks, if you open an account today, they will give you ATM immediately. What stops INEC from doing that? Because the system has failed. Who are piloting those systems? The political class. They don't want it to change because they don't want you to have that power. Because that voters card is your power. Now that's number one. Now, if the people come up and say, listen, we want everybody to have his voters card, one. And two, we must change our electoral process that we ensure that everybody casts their vote, even if it means voting for like complete 5 days. You go to America, they voted for more than 1 week. In fact, their vote continues even for over a period of a month plus. Now, that is because they want everybody to exercise that power they have. But here, they will corner it in such a way that they will have a small space that is good enough for them to manipulate the system, whereas disfranchising the people. Now, it is what the people have to do forcefully, because even if you bring out an angel to contest, they have already made system to frustrate that process. So you need to forcefully, somebody said, and that music inspires me so much, that when you knock and it is not open, use force to force that door open so that you get what you want. The people need to be free, and they don't need to just be playing it. Hey, go to bed, sleep, wake up, pray, and things will happen. No, we have to get everybody must come up and say our life depends on this.
I've got your point now. And then you say that it's more like people becoming politically conscious and then knowing that they have to involve in political activities.
Like their life depends on it.
Political activities, political participation, saying is a key to bring the change so needed, because the politicians are having a field day and they understand that the people do not put much interest in the politics, and then they take it as an advantage to have their way and always have their way in everything they do. Let's really allow our listeners to come in at this very point so you can call in. And so, if you have a question, if you have a contribution, if you have a suggestion, you can come in with any 0701 947 8850 or 0703 81 55515. We have in the studio, we have in Duvisi and Enugu, and we also have Chinedu Peter Asuzu. The program is Good Governance Ministry, and then we are looking at politics of ideology against politics of interest. So what's the take on this? What do you understand by these two? And then they have said, we don't have any political party in Nigeria carved with a political ideology. But then people can get involved in these political parties and then bring about these ideologies and let these political parties be known for one ideology or the other. And then, but then some people will say, you can't make anything out of this system unless the country is restructured. With a restructuring, you have a long way to go. Let's get to know what our listeners have to say this morning. Good morning. You are welcome. Yeah, welcome. It's good to have you.
This is the first of the honorable member here to go in.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I had all 1 hour saying, I see now the people who have ideology, good ones. But the person they ask me, when he asked about the political parties in Nigeria, he says, no, husband has ideology. And now, he asked me what he wants us to do. What to do? He said to gather. And to gather. If you go together, and suppose that the constitution of the country cannot give you a right to go to politics without having a political party. How can you, if you gather, you don't belong to any political party? And it happened again, say, 40 people take it by 40 people. How can you think that you are going to take it by 40 people? Those who registered the party, have a signature in the party, you just come in and force the app. It's possible. It's all this migration. How can you do that? Thank you. I'm done.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to come back to that question. You don't need to just relax a bit before you come back to give the answer. Let's take 2 questions. And then after this one, then you come back and then give an answer to that question. A little bit morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
My honorable speaker, good morning to you.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Gentlemen in the studio, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Sunday. I'm calling from Nehru.
You're welcome, Sunday. Please go.
Yeah. I must commend the people in the studio and the honorable speaker. The point you were talking about ideology. Very, very important. When you talk about ideology, people are just related to politicians. People to start from our family. That's the point. I went to register my child in the school outside. People are trying to maneuver everything. And if you go to school, people are trying to put their children in a special center where they will maneuver everything. And that's to carry the mentality into politics. Yes, sir. So whatever time that you want
Hello, please adjust yourself. Bring your phone close to your mouth. We are losing your voice. Are you still there? Hello, Sunday? Okay, I guess probably we have lost touch with Sunday. Let's go back. We got the point that people, for the fact that people have a negative mentality even outside politics, and that negative mentality they have outside politics is what they carry on into politics, and they go on and then keep on moving forward. Is there a remedy? Remember the first question the person asked, gather, how possible is it to exit those who have been in the party for a very long time and take over the party, and then for you to engender the positive changes you may have in mind? Is it possible? And the gathering of a thing when you know that the constitution has said that for you to canvass or for any election or elected position, it must be through a political party. Let's get your thoughts.
Okay, let me start with the second caller. Honestly, he opened a horizon on this discussion. When we're talking about political ideology, it's not all about the politicians and the political parties. It extends to the people, which is absolutely correct. The mindset of the people of it is just business as usual. It has to change. It has become an ideology that if you ask somebody, you say to somebody, I want to contest for this position, they will say, how much do you have? That's a molded ideology already. So everybody is now thinking towards that political ideology of money politics. Now, what are we doing to change it? Information. Because information is power. Information, when it throws into the dark shades of ignorance, it brings light. And that is what we're doing here. That is why we're spending a lot of time, energy, and resources to empower the people with the right information, so they will realize the powers they have. Now, when we're able to do that and gain the consciousness of the people and gather them together as a force under PRM, like we're already doing, then moving into either a political party is a choice, or maintaining like a political pressure group is a choice. You can say we will stay as political pressure group, or We might even say we are going to form our own political party. Whichever way, the power lies on the people who are the electorate, because they are the ones that will finally decide who becomes whatever or whoever takes any political office. Now, the only deficiency, if you say you are not moving in to participate actively within the political party structure, then they will automatically bring out, as usual, the worst of you to choose from. So they will bring and give you all bad options. But let the people form their own political party if it is possible. Like if you go to the Scottish people, we know Nigeria is not one. I say it. That Nigeria, one Nigeria, that to me it's an anthem. Now, when we now come to the reality on ground, I said it on this platform that Azikiwe said, let us forget our differences and let us unite as one and forge ahead. And Ahmadu Bello said, no, let us understand our differences. Understanding our differences is the key. The aspiration of somebody from the east is quite different from that of the north and that of the west. That is understood. Now, in Ani Igbo, it is not bad for us to have an Igbo national party where you have something like Scottish National Party. They pursue their aspiration. They are innovative. In Igbo, they are innovative. They are progressive. They move out. They try to make things possible for themselves. That's why we're asking for restructuring Nigeria to regional level, so that everybody can now move at its pace. Remember the First Republic. The Eastern region was one of the fastest growing economy in the world. So we can do that again because we have what it takes. But what is all right. So what is needed to be done at this time is for the people first to know the powers they have, gather, and now make a push.
All right, and I understand the gathering to mean where they will be sensitized, where they will be equipped with more knowledge, information, because if you're well informed, definitely,
of course,
you are more equipped,
of course,
to know options lying all around you.
Of course.
So, all right, we got it. Let's get to your thought.
Yeah, sorry. What I want to say is this word, it's hijack, you mentioned, and the last caller also mentioned. Hijack in this case, PRM is already established as a political movement to sensitize and educate the people and gather the people. That is one. Now the next thing is to look at the existing political parties. We already have a lot of them. We have youth party coming up. They are organizing. We have so many of them organizing, but they are not powerful yet. So PRF will gather the people and redirect them on where to go. And that is very simple. As per the last caller that said, how are we going to hijack power? No, we'll do the needful.
Can you come into someone's political party and then send them all out and then take over? Is it possible?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you identify a political party with like mind.
Okay.
If a party has the interests of the people at heart and they see me talking speaking the same language, it's not hijacking now. We'll come together now and do the needful. Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. How many people calling us? We're going to take like 4 calls at a stretch. Make it brief. Good morning. Just complete your thoughts. You have 30 seconds to complete your thoughts.
Yeah, issue of political ideology, for me, I'm not interested in the political party. What I'm interested in, particular somebody giving me a PR or whatever. My expression is their performance in governance. Yes, sir, we cannot compare ourselves for
So you're not interested in ideology. You are interested in what the person can do, the capacity, his capacity.
Because when I'm in a party and they don't want to treat, especially how some politics, especially treating and you want everybody to remain in that particular party, but they're not treating the particular.
All right, you're taking one party, please. We are not calling any political party's name. We are talking generally, so that let it be that you hate a particular party.
Thank you so much. This is their performance in governance. And not just because you respect their character and their.
All right, thank you so much. Because of time, I have to let you go. He's talking about your capacity, your performance in governance. But if you have not been there before, how would one know your performance? It's another thing. Definitely, because there should be a platform where people can measure what you can be able to do. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Oh, welcome. Yeah, welcome. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's something I want to speak for. You know, Tony, for a long
Are you still there? Please, we are waiting for you. We don't have the time. Oh, I have to let you go because of time. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. Can you bring up your voice a bit? We can barely hear you. Are you there? Alright, I think that your phone is somehow faulty. Alright, thank you so much. Your phone is somehow faulty. We can barely hear you. Good morning. You're welcome. Augustine Onita Kisa Bagabanino. All right, we got a question. If I get meant to stop unnecessary interference from religious leaders during the election period, most times if the politician must have made them, must have spoken with them, they will tell the people to go and vote for this politician because they know that these people are under him. He can easily tell them what to do. And then vote to Olonya, vote to Olonya, vote to Olonya. What can be done to stop that? That's the question. We're going to come back to that. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
I'm back.
Quickly.
Let me continue my statement on my own mother tongue. They move on this program, the man. This last question, if I could get it, because most of the placement, because I go from them, they complain to giving us. So, let me stop that way. The main problem is that this Nigeria on all those things. I said, this man is good. I got to look on I get snap power for the politicians. The people that run this country down. So, don't just give me blessing that this one go down the way. And when what I follow the system of Chancellor Force. Chancellor Force is I hear when you're going to put yeah. Now, let's say that somebody shall go for it. I can immediately say election. Only cannot be a president. And we're good people are isolated. And because they want to go lower to everybody.
All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. We have two questions and then we have 30 seconds to address this and then 30 seconds. How can we take power from politicians? If we pick it because we are already formula. That's just one. And then secondly, can the religious leaders can they matter? Watching them can there be a way to let people know that they can't go that way again?
Okay, very quickly, that is what we're doing here. First of all, is to organize the people, get them together, inform them under PRM. And if you want to continue following what we're doing, you can call 080-6098-2212. I'll repeat, 080-608. Wait, let me repeat again. 080-6098-2212. Or you call 0810-420-22. I think I've forgotten the number, but you know, we in the PRM, we're trying to bring the people together. We're trying to make sure that the people get organized and focus on political sensitization, then which will now propel many people to come out and decide this is who represent our aspiration. So the number to call is 0810-420-7522 or 080-6098-2212. Thank you.
All right, quick one from the basis so that we just a final one quickly.
Yeah, it is important for the people to get organized. But before then, they have to trust somebody. They have to trust a platform. Trust. Trust. is vacated.
All right, thank you so much. That's much we're going to take this morning on the program. Good Governance Ministry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Chinedu Peter answers. So thank you so much, everyone who have listened. My name is Tony. But listen, Becky, you have a lovely, lovely day. But then next will be news at noon. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hello. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.